This is the 2016 Dodge Challenger Scat Pack. I've had it for about a month now, and still trying to learn a lot of the features that come with it. You see, it's got the 6.4 badge, 20-inch tires, alloy rims, I don't know if you can see it, Brembo brakes. Today is Black Friday, November 27th. Then here's the back. And then the inside. Inside has got the black and red interior. The red is suede, and the trim on the outside of that is black leather. And then I got my Husky weather beaters inside to protect my carpeting. So as you can see, I don't know if you can tell, the corners they curve up, so any kind of liquid or whatever doesn't go onto my carpet. It stays on that plastic liner. And then here's the back, which is pretty roomy. It seats 3. I don't know if you can tell, kind of dark. Seats 3. The middle piece right there, which is, I don't know if you can tell, it's an armrest right there. And then there's, not an armrest, a cup holder in the middle, but it seats 3 people. It's a pretty good amount of room back here. I'm not tall, so there's a lot of room back there for whoever sits behind me. This seat right here, the passenger seat, also has a good amount of room also. This is the dashboard. The display, 8.4 display right there. The 8-speed transmission lever right there. And then you got your super track pack options, as you can see. And you got your backup assist, radio, and some more stuff. And I'll show you that in a minute. Then I put my Challenger door sill right there. Then of course over here you just got the metal door clasp and the window and locks that you can use either on this side or the driver's side. I had a 2011 Charger at first. One thing I have to get used to with this car is that the doors are heavier, so they don't always close. They don't always close as easily as the Charger. I find myself having to do it twice sometimes. I'm starting to get used to it, but it just takes a little bit of time. The trunk's kind of messy, but it's just as big as my Charger. It's deep. As you can see, I got to clean it up. That's my weak spot. I cleaned up everything else on the Challenger, but haven't gotten to the trunk yet. Obviously, that's the gas tank. Then over here, like I was saying, this is the interior. I'll start it up also so you can hear the exhaust. Started up today already, so it's not as clear, as loud as it would be, but it's still pretty deep for a stock exhaust. Let's stop. When I first got it, I thought about getting it. I was going to do something to the exhaust, but I'm just going to leave it like it is. Because it always sounds vicious like it is. That's the stereo. It's got the premium sound system too, the Alpine system. If you look at the display, 8.4 display, see a bunch of options down at the bottom. You got radio, which is your XFM, AM, FM. It also broadcasts in HD, plays in HD if the station is broadcasting in HD. And HD gives it a little better tone, a little deeper tone than just your standard radio. Then for media is where I'm streaming from my Samsung phone to the Uconnect. Then you got controls for the climate, the heating, steering wheel, stuff like that. Then you got apps, a bunch of apps. I don't know what most of those do, because like I said, I'm still learning a bunch of stuff about this vehicle. It's pretty cool though. Had a couple of fools try me on the highway. Obviously, they don't know what the little B on the side means, so they think their little 250 horsepower vehicle can stick with me. The problem they don't understand is their car can go fast, but it's not a fast car. They don't understand the distinction. Most people don't. But anyway, if I scroll over to the right, there's some more options there. There's Pandora, Slacker, Travel Link, phone where I can time my phone, which I've already done obviously because I'm streaming. On the performance pages, which if I hit that, it shows me a bunch of options I have as far as choosing the number of RPMs I wanted to rev at and things like that. It's loading now, performance pages. There's a Challenger there. Then if I go to timers, you know, if I want to go see how fast it is from 0 to 60, a quarter mile, you can take it to the track, that sort of thing. Then if I haven't done it yet, I don't know if I will, but because I'm not really a racer per se, but I do like the fact that, you know, I have the option to measure those type things if I do decide to at some point take it to the track. Then it's got navigation, you know, GPS, stuff like that. That's pretty cool. Go back to apps. Go back to performance pages. I didn't mean to do that. I meant to go to the other one, which is not performance pages, but performance control. So if I activate launch mode, it'll pull up a whole bunch of different other screens where I can change the settings for the steering wheel, for the suspension. It has Bilstein suspension, which is like a step up than you get the suspension you get on the standard Challenger. So it's a step up. Everything's a step up in the Scat pack from the Challenger. Just like everything is a step up in the Hellcat versus the Scat pack. So it's performance items. And of course, when those performance items are added, of course, the price goes up. But I got a pretty good deal on this one. So I didn't plan on buying it, but you know, took my 2011 Charger in to get some maintenance done. Only had 29,000 miles on it, but I walked around the dealership, the showroom, and that was my mistake. Because once I did that, I ran across this Challenger here, and once I started asking questions, and I saw the price, which is basically what I was paying for the Charger after I did all the options, I figured I could get a newer car for the same price with much before 100 horsepower more and a whole bunch of later features. So to me, that was a no-brainer. Of course, I had to consider some things before I did that, like would it be a hardship on the family, things like that. And since it would not be, it's not, then I went ahead and did it. But yeah, and here's the dashboard here where it shows the speedometer. It's digital. I can also change it to analog. I have an analog option too to the right. See the numbers over there. And it's a speedometer where there's some options where I can choose and change that to see other messages, like how many miles per gallon I'm getting, tire pressure, a whole bunch of different options you have with this vehicle. And it's really a great car. I like the way it drives. It's just always ready for you to punch it. It doesn't like to go slow at all. When you go slow, you can kind of feel the bulkiness, if you will, for lack of a better term, of the transmission. Kind of like it's like real. It's not sometimes it's not smooth when it switches gears when you're going slow. It's like trying to adjust to the slow speed, and it's like it's killing it. I mean, it's nothing wrong with the transmission. I'm just saying it's a car designed for speed and for power. And when you make it go slow like that, you know, it's got to adjust. It's got to make adjustments. But other than that, like I said, it's a great car. I've only had it a month. I'm still trying to figure out what's going on with it as far as some of the options. But I haven't really punched it yet. I've only taken it up to about 95 so far. But I'm going to be testing it before we get some snow here. See what she sounds like when I get her over 100. And then in fact, I think I am going to post that because I'm going to have somebody with me kind of filming so we can get a feel for just how powerful this car is. Yeah, it's heavy, but it's powerful. And it's a lot more powerful than the other pony cars out there. The Camaro, the Mustang, you know, other muscle cars. Just recently, of course, Mustang had to answer the call for the Hellcat. They came out with something called the Rocket. That's 725 horsepower. So right now, that one's at the top of the heap for now. But even so, with my 485 horsepower, There's not many cars out there that can touch me. The Mustangs, they're pretty much the only ones that can touch it is basically the Shelby, and like I said, the Rocket. The Shelby is like I think 530, something like that, 560 maybe. But the other Mustangs, besides the Rocket, are pretty much inferior as far as horsepower goes. Now, once they make some mods, it might give them a little bit more power. But if I make mods, then I'm going to be up there past them again. So it's an interesting car that gives you some options where you can do some things and improve the power. Cold air intake, that's still a debatable subject because on the internet in Jay Leno's garage, he had a aficionado there talking about, I forgot what kind of car it was. It was a supercar, not a muscle car, but it was a pretty high, like maybe a 600 horsepower car. I think it was a Ford. And the guy who was in charge of the product, he was definitely knowledgeable. He said, because Jay had asked him about the cold air intake, is it any advantage of putting it on? And he indicated that there really wasn't, because they already had given the car the best cold air intake it could make use of with that engine and with this with the setup that it was designed for. There's nothing else you can do for it. So I suspect that the Scat Pack and probably even the Hellcat, since Dodge is aiming for top performance, is also going to give it the best cold air intake or the best power options it can to make sure that it's at the top of its game when it goes up against other cars in that same class, in that same category. So, and I know a lot of people say, well, K&N gives you 5 to 10 or 10 to 20 extra horsepower. I don't know. I can see a tune doing something like that. After you get a tune, and then you add that, then maybe it might give you like 15 or 20 after you do the tune. But I don't know for sure. So I don't know whether I'm going to do anything with the cold air intake or not. But you guys can leave some feedback down below on what your thoughts are regarding the cold air intake, whether it's worth adding, or have you done it yourself to a late model car and seen any kind of improvement in power or throttle or anything like that. Alright, so you guys saw my 2016 Scat Pack. So I'm gonna get ready to head home, get something to eat. Starting to get dark now, as you can see. A lot of cars, people going to Black Friday. I'm at Best Buy. They going to see if they can catch some deals. Alright, so I'll check in later, YouTube, see what you guys think of the video. Let me know what your comments are. Later.